What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're checking out this 2026 Toyota 4Runner Limited. This one's finished in underground with an MSRP around $64,400. Personally, I kind of like the luxury spec 4Runners. While these are super off-road capable, especially in any of the TRD ones, a Sport, a Pro, an off-road, or even a Trailhunter, I don't know, I feel like the luxury one kind of gives it a good blend of a nice vehicle, but also it's still rugged and capable for the typical off-roader due to the fact that most people are mall crawling anyways. So with that, underneath the hood, this has an awesome powertrain. This is going to be the iForce Max, which is a 2.4 liter inline 4-cylinder turbo engine with that hybrid system. So this has 326 horsepower with 465 pound-feet of torque. Also has a full-time 4-wheel drive system, which is a great touch. Towing capacity, it's going to be around 6,000 pounds. Curb weight is close to 4,700 pounds. And then running on a 19-gallon fuel tank, you can expect 23 in the city and 24 out on the highway. Got a nice aluminum style grille with the silver color. Looks like an illuminated Toyota badge. Safety sensors, forward sensors, LED fog lights, and then more of the silver and gloss black trim. You have recovery hooks down below with a air dam and a really bold front end appearance with LED headlights and nice daytime running lights. So it looks very similar to the previous gen, just updated, I'd say, with a more modern style. I think they really did a great job on the newest 4Runner. You're going to see sharp body lines throughout the hood with the iForce Max badge, body colored fender flares with a nice air inlet cutout, and then a lot of sharp lines throughout this front end. You get 20-inch wheels in the two-tone silver, and then you also have mud flaps, fixed running boards, limited logo, and some sharp lines all throughout it. Got more body color for the mirror caps, turn signal and camera, body color on the handles, and then up above we have a sunroof with some nice roof rails that are functional. Side profile is similar to the previous gen, which is nice to see. It's a very familiar car. Really bold design for the rear fender arches as well. And I love this third window. It kind of looks like the old gen where it wraps upwards. So that's a really cool touch. In back we have an LED style for the taillight with some red and black housings, more body color, and then I love these buttons right here, locks and unlocks. And you can of course open and close this glass window. So it wouldn't be a 4Runner without a sliding rear glass. We have an integrated spoiler with your wiper blade up top, and then down below we have more parking sensors. There's a recovery hook underneath there, trailer hitch, and all the plugs. Then we have the silver trim sensors, camera, all your badging, and just a really bold style throughout it. I think they did a great job just making it look pretty cool. On the key fob we have lock, unlock. We have a power lift kit as well. I can go ahead and hold that. And then it even says 4Runner with kind of a forged carbon fiber look to it. Now this one being the hybrid, you do have this massive bump. I will say that is kind of a drawback, especially if you're a dog owner. You know, an older dog jumping in and out is going to be kind of a challenge, which is a little unfortunate, especially with my own dog. My dad has owned 2 4Runners over the last 20 years, and she jumps in and out of this all the time, so I don't think she can handle this at her age. You also have storage underneath here. Non-hybrids will be flat like the old style 4Runners. But nonetheless, you still have a pretty good amount of space in here. There's plugs, hidden storage, left and right side, more storage hidden underneath there. And non-hybrid, you can also get a third row, which is really cool to see. Going ahead and closing that. Moving on to the interior, we have a black SofTex interior. Now these seats will fold down nearly flat. You still have a bump, so it's not perfect. However, depending on how you do it, you can tumble these forward and give you a little bit extra space and gain more access into that cargo spot right there, and even pull off this front one. From here, we can lift these up. The angle of recline is pretty nice too. So really cool to see all that. You can see 3 people, got an armrest and cup holders. There are air vents, which is great to see, plugs and storage. And then I like having the soft touch all on the back doors too. So really a big benefit for this trim level. Kind of why I like this one. If you don't get one of these ones or the Pro or a Trailhunter, a lot of this is hard plastic, and for 60 something grand, I feel like that's just kind of a disappointment. Other than that though, cool interior. I like these seating materials. Now in the back row at 5'11", I feel a little big. My legs are kind of tall. My foot are smushed under the seat. Good knee room, but you know, kind of uncomfortable just because my legs kind of have nowhere to go. Seat themselves is comfortable with a good recline. But you know, there are some compromises for this back just being a body on frame SUV. Not too hard to get in and out of. And then moving on to the interior up front, once again we have all the soft touch materials, nice padding on the armrest, a good grab handle, memory seating, and hidden storage. We have our power controls as well, the smooth SofTex with perforations all throughout it. Nice design, and then a 3-spoke steering wheel. And then hopping inside now, foot on the brake, let's fire it up. Engine fires up too. You can see the silver trim. We have cruise control on the right, volume and screen controls on the left. We have the stock on the right side for windshield wipers, and we have turn signals and headlights over here. Now for the screen, what you're used to seeing on all the modern Toyotas for the most part, you can scroll left and right and then hit OK, and then you can go through a lot of information. So nice to configure all sorts of goodies and really make this unique. We have some basic controls over here for the liftgate, fuel. We have the automatic high beam, so you can adjust your headlight angle too. And then we have some nice trim, a harder plastic dashboard, but then we have this cool wireless Bluetooth speaker. So great for maybe going golfing or camping, you can kind of bring it with you. Extra hidden storage, there's a USB port on the inside right here, and then this one has a nice amount of space with some soft touch materials. So this screen, personally, I feel like it's a little overkill with how large it is. There's really not much information on here that is worth looking at. CarPlay is basically all I would ever have on here. Hopefully they put the new RAV4 screen in here very shortly, which is just software, which is way nicer too looking. So cool screen, but nothing really on it. You do have an awesome camera system though, so that is really the only reason you'd want the big screen is for those cameras. You got your volume, of course dials for temperature, heated steering wheel, all the different climate controls with fan speed, heated and ventilated seating, storage, charging, plugs, and a cool grab handle. We have the full-time 4-wheel drive system, so we have drive modes and then a tow and haul mode. A lot of them in this car, which is really great to see. And then we have that one, and then a shortcut for the view icon to gain access to cool 360 view. We've got more cup holders, storage down below, good amount of padding. And then one last look at the interior. I do like how it's kind of that luxury spec, which is a really good touch over a more basic one. Got garage door buttons as well, and a cool interior overall. All right, so setting off now in the 4Runner. Just slowly getting up to speed. That hybrid engine is so fantastic. It has so much power and pep to it, instant throttle response with the EV motor. I mean, this thing just starts moving without stress in the engine. It is fantastic. So I'm just in the comfort mode. So we have somewhat of an adaptable suspension. So nice and smooth on a nice freshly paved road. Honestly, wind noise and road noise, this is super quiet. You got a good view around, no problem with visibility. You can easily see around this car. So just a nice, pleasant vehicle to drive. The seats are pretty comfortable up here, can easily get them into a good position. Armrests are nice and comfortable too. It's a nice SUV, and that's why I kind of like this being the luxury version of it, just because it adds a nice on-road character that some of the off-road versions don't really have. They're still all really nice in general. I mean, as long as you get the hybrid engine, I would say you got a solid 4Runner. The normal 4-cylinder feels a little cheap to me, and I just feel like you're going to be stressing that little engine a little bit too much. With the hybrid, you are really compensating for the small engine with so much power. So it's fantastic setup. And this one especially just drives really good. Now there still is some brake dive and body roll, you know, it's body on frame, so that's what you're going to expect from a vehicle like this. But it does drive a lot more composed than the old generation 4Runner, which again, I have 10 years of experience in each of the last 2 generations of 4Runners. So I have been around them forever, since I was 15 years old, so half my life. But yeah, city driving in the parking lots now, again, pretty easy vehicle to maneuver overall. Really nothing challenging. It's easy to park. The camera system works really well. And one thing kind of cool with the drive modes, if we go into the sport ones, it actually does play some of the fake engine sounds. It gives you a little bit more beefy tone when you're accelerating. And if you're idling very quietly, you can hear it turn that on. But we'll get up to speed a little bit in the Sport Plus mode, and you're gonna hear a little bit of that powerful sound. So a little bit more beefy than if we go into like eco mode. So it may not come off on camera, but you definitely have a cool soundtrack to it when you're in the Sport and Sport Plus. But man, that turbo engine with the EV is just so pleasant to drive. It has a lot of power and it's just really nice. Interior materials, this is why I like the luxury specs, is because you have all the soft touch material everywhere. You don't have the hard plastics on the armrests and things like that. So I feel like you just gotta get the nice ones, and that's one drawback with 4Runner. It's an expensive SUV. If you want a nice one, you gotta pay the money to get the good one. Unfortunately, if you get the lower trim levels, they're still expensive, but they're just kind of cheap feeling. So personally, you gotta get a nice one, and you got a really nice vehicle at the end of the day with great towing capacities, capabilities, and things like that. This one's got a lot of really good technology in it, no complaints, and just a pleasant vehicle to drive overall. It feels cool and rugged. You know, this is a lot more tough feeling than a Honda Passport, which I've done some comparisons on. I would go 4Runner. I just think it feels cooler in here. I like the textures, the more edgy design. You know, the Passport's a little soft. It's more of a crossover, obviously, versus this being a bit more truck-like. So 4Runner has a lot to offer. I would definitely put one on your list. Just be ready to spend at least $60,000 to get a good one. But overall, I mean, this is just a really, really good package. You have off-road capabilities, good enough space, and just a cool SUV overall.